Closing night. Here we are, closing night. That'll probably be the intro. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's very important. I'm trying to have my wife be a stay-at-home wife. Yeah. First off, I am so beyond excited to watch this movie. It's actually my first time watching it. I've heard nothing but high praise. I mean, the work with Coleman Domingo, incredible work. So first thing I wanted to talk about, what drew you guys to bring this story out into the world today?
Gosh, we've been working on it for over 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it just, and the resonance and our care for it, love for it has just grown with each year. I mean, first discovered the story and then began working with a lot of the real life people who were involved. Actually, we were volunteer teachers inside this theater program ourselves, and it's been the gift of a lifetime.
Yeah, when Greg first kind of stumbled on this, stumbled into wanting to tell the story, and then did the research to find RTA and all of that. I mean, the big thing was meeting the guys from the program. We first met the guys who had been through the program inside Sing Sing through RTA, had come outside, and then, as Greg said, then we went into max security prison to teach and became part of the program. And it was just really life-changing meeting them, and the big thrust of it throughout the whole 8 years, I guess now, it seems crazy to say it, but through all that time, like, the main push was always just to, like, take what they were already doing and just show it to the world. And that was it. Like, how could we remain as truthful to that as possible?
That's absolutely beautiful. And one thing that I love, and I would love to get your perspective on this too, just being on set with everybody there and just experiencing this. The thing that I love specifically with like a director in their position, this is just my opinion, I think their job, one of the jobs, is to guide the actors and this like beautiful relationship between actor-director and getting their best performance out. And sometimes it can be vice versa. Sometimes it could be like, oh, I'm so glad you didn't take that route. You went your own creative spin, and it could have been like the best take. Has there been any moments on set for both of you where you were giving that experience, like trying to get them that moment, or they just had that mind-blowing moment and you're like, that's the take, that's the one?
I mean, really, all of those things happen. But, you know, we had 25 casts in this film, and then kind of it's like working into the center of this movie. You know, we see it through Coleman Domingo's eyes. He's the sort of hero of the story, but it's also really a story of a friendship between him and Clarence Macklin, who's playing himself in the film in a revelatory, like, star-making, turn. And, I think the special parts of this movie are, like, within their friendship, that was all, like, very scripted. Like, it was kind of the spine of our film, and there was so much powerhouse moments that you just never wanted to call cut that was happening between. It was like a live wire. Like, the dynamic was so electric. And then, like, our broader ensemble, I mean, it's so beautiful that they're being honored tonight for their excellence in acting as a group, because it truly was this profound community of actors on stage in what I think is just sort of this beautiful exchange that was happening, because we had established actors who've been in film and TV for a very long time, like Paul Raci and Coleman Domingo, and then we had people in their first feature film roles, who had a lot of experience, lived experience, actually inside this program. And they were both teaching each other in both directions. So it was just beautiful to witness that happening. And honestly, as a director, you're more just like trying to create a space, because when you have that much talent and life under one roof, you're just trying to kind of create the circumstances where, like, beauty can happen. And then it's got to sort of unfold naturally at that point.
Last quick question for you guys. It's just a fun one. If you had one movie that you could watch for the rest of your life on repeat, what would it be and why?
First up. I don't know. The one the Birdcage. I feel like that's just movies like a warm bath. It's so funny and sweet and charming. I don't know.
Okay, Birdcage.
The first thing I can is odd, because it's kind of dark, but The Social Network. I find myself watching it like at least once a year.
Classic.
There's something about, like, the rhythm of that movie and the propulsiveness of it and the performances. that I don't know, just draws me in every time.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time. I appreciate it so much. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you. Hey, Sean. Nice to meet you.
Oh, that's all the rage.
So, how is it being here tonight at SIF? And I believe, is this the second time you guys are premiering this film in a festival?
No, I think the film actually started in Toronto last year and amazingly has gone to several places, including South by Southwest and my hometown of San Francisco. So it feels amazing to be able to share it, and it's been really unbelievable that a film that feels so intimate and so real and personal has been able to find audiences, find responses, and find connection. It's really been a gift.
Is this movie actually filmed on a prison, or it used to be a prison? Is that true?
Yeah, for the most part, it was filmed in a decommissioned prison, in a really recently decommissioned prison. So in a lot of ways, I think it was, pretty harrowing for a lot of the folks that had really lived life on the inside before, and then coming back to something there was nothing made up about it. There was no production design. It was very recently decommissioned too. So in that sense, it was pretty intense. But also, I think it helped all of us in a way, insofar as the world took care of itself. So we didn't, in other words, for those of us, say Coleman Domingo or Paul Racy or myself, didn't sort of have to put on, we're in the prison and we're going to act the prison part of it. The world took care of itself, which allowed people to just relate as human beings, which the film is really about, is making that human connection under any circumstance. So, yeah.
Wow. And what do you hope at the end of the day, like for example tonight with this big audience that's going to be here to support this film, and me being one of them, it's my first time, and I'm very excited. What do you hope for audiences to just take away at the end of the day when it comes to this just story about RTA, this beautiful program?
Yeah, I mean, the word that I keep using a lot is humanity and divinity, and those sound like, wow, that's really big, you're doing a prison movie. But I think what we're trying to explore is how we can find humanity and that there is divinity in our lives, no matter what has happened prior to us and what circumstances you're living in. And I think if you're going to be able to relate to the human beings, then I think we can pull away and see how dehumanizing our prison industrial complex is. So in a way, without having to go directly into a quote-unquote political issue, I think through the humanity of the characters and the actors in it, hopefully we can also see the bigger, uglier picture through this beautiful connection that happens with the fellas in the movie.
Yeah, that's all I keep on hearing, is that it's such a human story. It's authenticity, and I believe that's what I'm hoping to see, and I'm just hearing nothing but that, and I'm very excited. Last quick question for you. Okay, if you had one movie that you could watch for the rest of your life on repeat, hopefully it wouldn't be one that you would hate eventually, what would that be?
Probably for me, it's, my favorite movie is Orfe Negro, Black Orpheus. And I could watch that for the beautiful photography in it, the music, and the deep, mythological epic story of it, and the love story of it. Also that it's set in the heart of a city, I can relate to that. So I could watch that one over and over again. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting you. You have a great night.
Thank you.
Hey, my name's Joseph.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
How are
you.
JJ.
JJ Dino? Okay. Here we are. We're at SIP, and we are going to be showing Sing Sing. And I just got to say, this is my first time watching it, so I am beyond excited to experience this with you guys. But the one thing I wanted to ask, in your guys' perspective, is I heard this movie was actually filmed, I think it was in a decommissioned prison. And just to step into that environment with this mission, this story of sharing the RTA program, such a beautiful thing of all this amazing testimonies from what I've heard. What does it mean for you guys to step into that environment and to bring the story out here in Seattle?
Though there was a lot of trauma going back in those facilities, it outweighed the bad, because this message needs to get out. For many years, this program has been Sing Sing's best kept secret. Secretly, men have been changing their lives, coming out, and they know about this. So we're overwhelmed at getting it out to the world.
The question was a powerful one, and I'm gonna tell you why. Dino's been out 20 years. I've only been out a little over 2, right? 2 years, a few months. And so what that means is that when we did this film, I had just came home. And so for a person that was wrongfully convicted, spent 24 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, to go back into a prison and to put that uniform back on, that was trauma in itself. But the cathartic feeling that came out of the success and the message that this film is going to be able to depict for the world, that was worth it.
Thank you guys so much for that answer. That really means a lot. And at the end of the day, what do you hope audiences, like I said, it's my first time watching it, what do you hope audiences and just everybody, no matter who has like background or story, wherever they come from, what do you hope they take away from this movie, this story about the RTA, about Sing Sing?
Well, what I want the audience to walk away with is know that men can change their lives. Men can change their thinking. Men can begin to feel again, love again, and embrace again. Okay? Because a lot of people are under the misconception that people don't change. The human spirit can be shaped, it can be formed, you know? And the arts is the most powerful vehicle to help that change take place.
Incarcerated people are just people, like everybody else. And so when you look in the mirror, the only difference that changes you from a person that's in prison are the choices that we make in life. And we all know that people are capable of making good choices and bad choices. And so if we help people make better choices through programs like RTA, through programs that, touch us in a way that really brings out our sensitivity and our humanity, we can actually save a lot more people than just the punishment that exists in America, which is part of mass incarceration.
Thank you so much for those answers. It's touching my heart. I'm already feeling like the emotional impact of the film, and I haven't even seen it yet, but I just thank you guys. And I like to throw in a little bit of a quick question, a little bit of a fun one. If you had one movie or even a show that you could just watch nonstop and you would never get tired of it, what would it be? Just one film or show?
It'll be Sing Sing.
Sing Sing? Okay.
I'm sorry you're going to get the same answer as Sing Sing. I've already watched it about 7 times.
7 times. Thank you. Hey, pleasure meeting you guys. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to watch the movie tonight. It's just good to see you, by the way. And I'm just excited for you to have this movie out here. It's actually my first time watching it. And I just wanted to ask you, so this role that Coleman Domingo gets to play is you, right? Yeah. How did that feel to just be on set and being a part of this film where you get to share your testimony with other people?
I mean, it's a blessing beyond imagination. I can't even describe the euphoric sensation and just the reality that, I dreamed of this. I always had this vision that RTA was going to do something big, good, and grand and great. Because when we started this program, I'm one of the founding members, by the way, we saw the impact that it had on the population. It was just mind-boggling. It was just so fascinating that everyone who was there knew that we had to do more with this. This is something that we had to tell the world, because I was seeing transformations happen before my eyes that you wouldn't even think was remotely possible. You had guys who were just, you would think are throwaways once they got in this program, and all we showed was just a little bit of love, a little bit of patience, a little bit of empathy, a little bit of passion. We challenged individuals, of course, and we started seeing changes. And when we were on the set with Coleman Domingo, he just did such a spectacular job playing me. I often sometimes wondered if I had took the role, could I actually did a job better than him? I don't think I could have did it better than that. I don't even think I could have played myself better than what he did. He did a fantastic job.
I believe this was filmed in a decommissioned prison. So what did that mean for you stepping into this with a mission of bringing this program through this type of art film and even showing it tonight? What does that mean to you going back and your life going flashes of memories and filming it to now? What does that do for you?
I mean, first of all, walking back into prison was very traumatizing. I mean, there's just, I don't know if you understand, but prison is hell. Prison is not a nice place, and New York State is professionals in punishment. They have one of the most draconian systems in the world, you know. So it wasn't easy, but because we knew that we had a mission at hand, and we knew that somehow, some way, that we were going to have a rippling effect on many more people, and that we were going to save lives. Because one of the you know, statements that we always use is that we here to change the world in whatever way we can with what little bit we have. Whatever we can do to help make that change, we're going to do it. So yeah, it was rough, but it was a mission. So it became easy because we saw a bigger picture at the end of the road. So we knew we had to put all the pain and suffering aside and go in and get the job done. And I think we did a pretty good job.
Well, you're making me feel impacted already, and I haven't even seen it. I'm about to watch it here in like 15 minutes, but I wanted to ask you something. By the way, thank you so much for the honesty and authenticity. I can already feel it, and I wanted to throw something fun at you. If there was a movie, one movie or a show that you could just watch forever and never get tired of it, what would that be? Just one movie or show.
That's kind of hard because I like a lot of movies.
That is a hard question.
And for me, there's not really one single movie that for me knocks it out the park to where it's that one. There's so much competition. But I love Shawshank Redemption. I love that movie. I loved, it's a few. I can't think of them right now, but that was one that kind of stood out for me because it was an action-based movie and it had a lot of good components of patience and empathy, and it had, you know, sad moments, up moments. And in the end, I kind of like when my man Tim got away. Tim Roth, he got off, you know, that was pretty decent. That was one that holds a dire part in my heart.
I'm just excited, number one, to meet you in person. I've been very excited for this moment to meet all of you. And how does it feel to be here at SIF having this movie? Like, what does that mean for you to show this story to the world?
Man, it feels amazing to be here at SIF. It's just crazy. Since I got off the plane yesterday, all I did was I got off, put my bags down, and walked around just to feel the energy, to feel the people, and to see how it's going down around here. And it's a large community of theater people around here, movie people. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, man. It feels great.
Well, I wanted to ask you, so I heard, and everyone's been having like such unique perspectives, and that's the one thing I love about just storytelling, is that it's perspective. It's somebody's journey. And obviously this is a journey of friends. In a situation that's not fair. And I respect you guys coming here to share your story. That is one thing I have is huge to me is honor. So I honor you guys for sharing this story. And I just wanted to know what it felt for you during the time of filming, because I heard that it was filmed actually in a recently decommissioned prison.
Yeah,
and
2 of them actually.
Two of them.
Decommissioned prison.
Wow. And what did it feel to just step back into that with a mission in mind of sharing the RTA program, Sing Sing, and just having it out to the world?
Well, it was a little apprehension at first because, you know, one of the scenes that I was in, I'm right below a cell that I actually was occupying. So even to put the greens back on, I don't know if it was my conscious mind but it felt like they itch a little bit. But the purpose of the movie and the message that it entails was so much more important than the apprehension. Like, we really need people to know that the people that are locked up are people. They're human beings. And everybody has the capacity to change. Like, they may have made whatever poor choices and decisions to get them where they are. However, everyone can change. There is no one that doesn't have any good in them.
How did it feel to like have Coleman? Like that's like your homie. I'm assuming you guys probably have a great relationship afterwards.
Yeah.
But like, how did it feel in that moment to just kind of mimic some big story beat moments in your life with someone that was kind of on the outside and to bring them in?
Well, Coleman made it really easy because his research of Devon G was so thorough. It was like this is Devon G I'm talking to. His research on my brother was so thorough, and he did such a good job in staying in the moment with me, with Devon G, in the capacity of Devon G. He did such a spectacular job that he made my job easy.
This is just a fun one, because I like to keep it lighthearted at the end. But what is a movie or show that you absolutely loved, and it was the one film that you could just watch over and over again? There's only one. What would that be?
That would be The Honeymooners when Ralph and Ed are stuck on a train in handcuffs. Boof. Boof. I could watch it over and over again.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Like I said, I truly honor you. Thank you for sharing this story.
Thank you, brother.
Yep. I look forward to seeing you in there, sir.
All right, take care.
You too.